Hello.
Hello?
So today's podcast, we're talking about something. What?
We're talking about, being vegan in emergency situations.
Right. I guess which is something mostly I'll talk about since I was there most recently. So I was Baker acted for like 4 days,
4 nights.
4 nights. And so I was in the hospital and limited food, limited options.
Well, do you want to talk about
So
first the ER?
yeah, I mean, first I was in the ER before I was in like a Baker Act facility. So, I mean, I have a mental illness. That's not a secret or anything. But I was in the ER for about 12 hours watching Guy Fieri marathons.
For 12 straight hours, you watched
Yeah.
Guy Fieri.
Yeah,
make that known.
reruns. Reruns and everything. Like, I mean, I just sat there watching Guy Fieri for 12 hours. Trying to get psyched up for food because, I mean, when you go to the hospital like that, you know that you're probably not going to get the normal vegan food you're used to.
Right.
So I was trying to get in the mood, you know?
What was the first thing they brought you? Did they bring you water first, or...
Oh my God. So they brought me whole milk and a turkey and Swiss sandwich.
Like one of those cardboard, milk cartons like you get in school?
Right, exactly.
Ugh. Like just plain whole milk, not
Just
chocolate?
plain whole milk.
Okay.
So I didn't touch either of those. I mean, they just sat on my bed.
Did you unwrap the sandwich? Was it wrapped in saran wrap?
I didn't unwrap it. I didn't touch it. It was in like a plastic case, like really secure, you know?
So you didn't know if that had mustard or mayonnaise or anything like that on it?
No.
Okay.
I just read the
curious.
label. I just read the label and it said like turkey and Swiss, and then I got a whole milk. And I didn't touch them. And obviously, I mean, I was being Baker acted, so I wasn't in a great mental state. So I wasn't like, hey, can you bring me peanut butter and jelly or something?
Right. What had you eaten already that day? Do you remember? 'Cause I sort of remember.
Oh, yeah. Not much.
We went to Starbucks that morning, and I think you got a green tea because you didn't want caffeine because you were already anxious. Obviously,
Right.
you were not
It
doing
wasn't a
super
great
hot
day.
leading up to that. And you drank that, and then before you went, by the time we knew you were going to the hospital, but before you went, you ate a granola bar and drank water.
Okay. So I'd had 100 calories or
Right.
200.
Pretty much nothing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was starving. I was really, really hungry. But I wasn't going to eat a fucking turkey sandwich or drink whole milk. There was no way. Eventually, I found some water. And then after 6 hours, they brought me a rice, carrots, peas, and chicken kind of thing. With a cup of steamed broccoli and a salad. So I just kind of started eating the broccoli and the salad because it was great and it was vegan. It was fine. But I was still really hungry. So they had the rice.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You were there
So
for
they had
12
the
hours.
rice and the chicken. And I just kind of picked around the chicken and I started eating the rice. And then, I mean, eventually, I ate a little piece of chicken or something. And it was gross, but it wasn't that bad, which I guess is the point I want to make is don't starve yourself. If I hadn't eaten anything, they probably would have hooked me up to an NG tube after a while.
What is that? Can you clarify that?
Nasal gastro, it's a feeding tube,
Oh,
right? They'll just
okay.
kind of feed you mush. If you refuse to eat, that's not going to fly in the hospital.
Well, especially if you're already there for psych.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck you, I'm not eating. They're like, okay, he's really crazy. He needs to eat, and we're just going to hook him up and give him calories. Because they have
Yeah.
to keep you alive.
Yeah, they're not going to let you starve yourself to death. And yeah, you could probably raise a stink and get some vegan food. Eventually I did, but when you're already you're there because you want to die, right? So
You were so fucking anxious.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even really eat the granola bar. I had to bring you the granola bar and was like, please
Yeah.
fucking eat this before you go. You don't know what you're going to eat while you're there. You need something in your stomach.
Right. So bad situation, but yeah, so I ate a little tiny bit of chicken accidentally, but I was happy that I had the food I had. And then I was taken to a facility, a residential inpatient kind of thing.
Yes, inpatient.
Right, not residential. But
I mean, for some people.
yeah. But when I was there, they asked about my diet, so I told them I was vegan, and I thought, okay, in the clear now. Like I had one non-vegan meal when I was starving in the ER, but now everything will be fine and clear because I told them I'm vegan.
Was that like during intake?
That was during intake, yeah.
Okay.
So it turned out it didn't matter that I was vegan. They didn't care. And I don't think they knew what vegan was.
A good chance that the people doing your intake either didn't know what that was, didn't pass it on, or didn't care.
Right.
They were just like writing it down like for records. Like you didn't tell them you had any deathly allergies, so they were like, "Cool,
Right.
he won't die. Whatever we give him."
Yeah. But I mean, the good news is that it was super easy to be vegetarian. I didn't eat any meat while I was there. So it was like indirect dairy. Indirect dairy is the hardest thing to avoid, I think, for just about anyone going vegan, even if you're doing it out in the wild with a grocery store.
Right.
Like, indirect dairy is still hard to avoid, but in the hospital especially. So yeah, I mean, I had some diarrhea.
Can you give some
Didn't feel
examples
great.
of some of the meals that you were eating? Like, what were they giving you there? Just like, so people listening kind of have an idea of like what to expect. Because you put off going to the hospital for kind of dangerously long. And part of that was literally because you were like, what are they going to feed me? I'm scared to eat fucking meat and cheese.
Yeah, I was really scared about the food, and that really, yeah, it kept me from going to the hospital for a dangerous amount of time. So if you are vegan and you need to go to the hospital because you're a danger to yourself, you should just fucking go. Because it wasn't that bad. The food was not that bad. I was able to be vegetarian the whole time. What did I eat? Like muffins. Okay, indirect dairy.
Yeah, what kind of breakfast? Let's go by meal.
Yeah, so actually most of my breakfast was vegan. I had oatmeal, which they just made with like water.
Yeah.
And then I had grits, same story. I didn't put the butter in the grits. I could have, I guess. But they had salt and pepper and like brown sugar for the oatmeal, so it was pretty tasty. I guess there were some biscuits at breakfast that I'm sure weren't vegan. But fruit at breakfast, always, like bananas, apples, oranges, fruit cups, juice. Like, I didn't have to drink milk. They have, like, juice and teas and water and everything normal. So, breakfast wasn't that big of a deal. It was pretty much that every day.
So breakfast was, like, probably the more chill of all of the meals regularly?
Yeah.
And you had breakfast there 3 times, right?
Yeah, and it was grits and oatmeal. That was, like,
4
they
times.
always had those. They would have like eggs and sausage and stuff, which I avoided. I don't know. I'm trying to think if they had anything like special that I ate. Maybe pancakes. I might have done pancakes.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was wrong. It was 4 times because you were in there Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Monday morning, and Tuesday morning.
Right.
So you had breakfast 4 times. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if you had a pancake on one of those days
Right.
and like didn't remember.
Right. I think I definitely had a biscuit. But then lunches, shit. What did I eat for lunch?
Well, I know what you ate for some of your lunches.
What did I eat?
Well, the one time you got the chickpea soup. That was like the one vegan
Yeah,
thing.
they did try, like specifically for me.
That's really funny.
And then one time they had a salad, and it was in like the fridge that everyone could see. Like the way you got your food is you walked up to this counter and kind of just told the server what you wanted. And they had a
cafeteria.
salad. Yeah, like cafeteria. So they had a salad in the freezer, and this girl was like, "Oh, can I have that salad?" And the server's like, "No, this is for the vegetarian." And she pointed at me.
Which is the most hilarious fucking alienating thing ever.
Yeah.
Did that girl have like a reaction or was she just like, oh, whatever?
I mean, everyone looked at me. And then I got my fucking salad.
Was it good? Was it worth it?
It was fine. But super funny. And then, I don't know, like, honestly, a lot of it was mostly vegan. Maybe, like, cooked with butter or something. But then only a couple things had, like, cheese. And that was the grossest. And that's what gave me diarrhea. And I wish I had told them I had a dairy allergy or something.
Well, because
I do.
Yeah, you kind of do. You have
Yeah.
at least an intolerance. Like, you can't have dairy
Right.
without your stomach just completely, like, just like, fuck you, dude, we're not doing this.
Right.
And giving up and just shitting. Like,
Right.
You
It was
can't handle
disgusting.
it.
But
Well,
that was like baked ziti, which I
yeah.
pretty much like picked you know how baked ziti has that like layer of mozzarella or whatever?
Which used to be my favorite part.
Right. But I like picked under it, you know?
Right.
And anyway,
Like,
it
scrape it
sounds
off.
scary, like thinking about it. And that's why I didn't go to the hospital for so long, is because it sounds fucking disgusting to get in there and be forced to eat things with like butter even, let alone cheese.
Right.
But I don't know.
Can
it
you
was
talk
not that bad.
a little bit about the taste of the food? Because it's fucking hospital food, so none of the shit is fucking gourmet. But, like,
Yeah.
was it good, or did you taste the cheese and we're like, bleh? How'd you feel about that?
Honestly, after a couple years of not eating cheese and then eating something with cheese in it, it didn't taste good, but it didn't taste as gross as I was anticipating.
Because we've accidentally had stuff with milk in it before
Yeah.
and been like, it tasted a little bit sour.
Right.
Like, I'm thinking about, like, one of the tahini sauces we had
Right.
from the place down the street. Like, I don't want to say their name because I don't want to, like, shit talk them because their food's amazing. But their tahini sauce had dairy in it.
Right.
And you tasted that, and it just tasted sour.
Yeah. The
But it
cheese is
wasn't
like
like
a
that.
little sour, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. See, and that's the thing. I tried to get in a mindset of just like get the calories.
Did Guy Fieri help you?
Yeah. So I just shoveled that shit in. I wasn't sitting there savoring the taste of pretty much anything
You
while
were
I was
just
there.
you were just trying to eat so that you could survive and not look
Yeah.
like a freak.
I was never thinking about the food because if I had, it would have grossed me out.
Yeah, you like hardcore freaked me out, honestly, because I got the chance when you were in the ER to talk to you on the phone, and I could have been there visiting you pretty much the whole time you were in the ER, which we did not know
Right.
until I like learned. I had to like read like all the Baker Act statutes and everything like that to try to figure out, because that process is super unclear and like not transparent. But so I got the opportunity to talk with you on the phone when you were in the ER, and I was like, oh, have you eaten yet? Because I knew you hadn't fucking eaten all day, and I was starting to get worried. Like, is he okay? Has he eaten food? Oh my God. Do you see what she's doing?
Oh, she wants your something.
It's a bowl that had vegan jerky in it before.
She's mildly interested.
She's not that interested, though. She won't
No.
eat anything vegan, but
Okay,
Anyway.
back on task.
back on task. I knew you hadn't eaten anything. So
Right.
I was worried. You were like, yeah, I have eaten. And I'm like, oh, was it vegan? Because I knew that the hospital you went to had like kind of like a chef situation in their cafeteria, and they will serve vegan food. But I think that you weren't admitted to the hospital, so you were just like getting like sustenance to keep you alive.
Right. I wasn't even in the normal ER. I
No.
was in the high risk of elopement ER.
Yeah, that's the part of the ER that they're like, these people are gonna fucking run away or try to kill themselves, so we need to keep them contained. And so they were like bringing you your food.
Right,
Like I think
no
in
choices.
the normal part of St. Joe's, you can like go down to their like little cafe, I think is how they call it,
Yeah.
and you can ask for something vegan, and it might be a fucking salad, but they will hook you up.
Right.
So I asked, like, was it vegan? And you're like, no, we'll talk about it later. And you said it in such a way that, like, really freaked me out.
Oh
and, like,
no, I was just grossed out and I didn't want to like talk about it on the phone because I knew they were listening.
Right, which, like, probably wouldn't have been a big deal. But
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Like,
Right.
all freaked out. Like, what the fuck? Are they just shoveling cheese down your throat or something?
Right.
Because the dairy is the part that I don't know. Like, I think I might have done the opposite to you. Because you avoided the meat,
Yeah.
but ate the dairy. And I think I probably would have avoided the dairy and ate the meat.
It's not like I, picked macaroni and cheese or like cheese sticks for a snack or something.
Right,
But
no, you weren't excited about it. but-
indirect dairy, I was fine with. In a
Indirect dairy
couple
wouldn't have been a
days, I
problem.
had direct dairy in like the form of Alfredo sauce or some bullshit.
Which is a bummer.
Yeah, and that's literally because that was like the only option, so I
Mm-hmm.
took it. Yeah, but snacks were great. Rice Krispie treats are the shit.
We have to learn how to make vegan Rice Krispie treats. We haven't gotten the Dandy's marshmallows yet,
Yeah,
but we know they're at our Whole Foods, and I know you can buy them online too. But like, I want to try to make vegan Rice Krispie treats so that we can have give you those, because I don't want you to be vegan except Rice Krispies treats.
no, and obviously that's not going to be the case, but they don't suck at all.
Yeah,
Pop
you told
Tarts
somebody
don't
that when I came to
suck.
visit.
Yeah,
Well, Pop Tarts are vegan except for the frosting, and
that's
you've
the
had
only kind they had.
And you've had the Pop-Tarts that don't have the frosting since we've been vegan.
Yeah.
Is the frosting, does it make that big of a difference?
I don't know. It helps. Because it's good, you know? But anyway, don't starve yourself. They'll keep you there longer. They'll force you to eat something. Like, they're weird about food, but it's not so bad. Like, being vegetarian, I think, is super normal.
Well, and you told me when you were visiting, when I was visiting with you there, you said, well, now I don't understand why everybody can't just be vegetarian. It's literally the easiest thing ever.
Oh my God, it's so easy. Like, you can eat literally everything and be vegetarian.
Literally just not meat.
It's like a joke compared to being vegan. Which, like, I'm not saying vegan is so much better. I'm saying vegetarian is so much easier.
Right.
Like, it's a joke.
Especially when you're thinking about indirect dairy. A girl I was friends with was a vegetarian, and she doesn't live in Tampa anymore. She lives in, like, Seattle, where it's a lot easier to be a vegetarian, I think. But
yeah.
She, like, you know, she would go to Dunkin' before work in the morning and get everybody munchkins and shit. Like, she was so, like, she could eat basically everything.
Yeah. Like,
she still ran into problems. She still had to explain to her family every Thanksgiving that, like, no, bacon doesn't go in green beans. Like, I can't have the green beans with the bacon.
Right. I don't know. It's so easy, though.
And, like, it makes a difference, like, if you just want to go vegetarian, because that's the easier part, like, go vegetarian. But
yeah.
This, like...
especially starting out. Like, if you're making stepping stones.
I did that.
Vegetarian's a great stepping stone.
Yeah.
Because it's not... you're not reading nutrition facts or ingredient lists so much. Not nutrition facts, but you're not reading ingredient lists, like, to the degree you are when you're vegan.
Right. You're just like, does this have meat?
Clearly, no.
No.
I'm
okay,
good.
Cool. But honestly, for me, if I was going to do something other than vegan, I would probably do vegetarian, no milk, but eggs.
Yeah.
Because I don't really give a shit about meat.
Right.
I'm excited about, like, lab-grown, like, in vitro meat, clean meat.
Yeah, that's exciting.
But, like, eggs are the thing that I actually like to miss. They don't fuck with my stomach. Dairy fucks with my stomach. I've never liked dairy. I've had soy or almond milk in the house since before you and I got together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like dairy. Cheese used to be good, but fucking follow your heart is just as good as anything else. So, like, I don't.
Yeah. It's really, I don't know. I can't imagine being anything other than vegan at this point.
No, I
but
agree.
like, vegetarian's super fucking easy. So maybe one day when I'm like 90 and just tired of
Lab-grown eggs.
Lab-grown eggs.
I'm so fucking excited because I love eggs. Like,
Yeah.
Just Eggs are coming to stores now.
We haven't tried the vegan egg. We have like a vegan egg that scrambles. We haven't tried it in a minute, but I remember it not being great.
I think it was okay. I think we ate it plain. I think if we put it with, like, spinach and a little bit of, like, vegan
Some
parm.
follow your heart palm.
Yeah, I
Palm,
think it'd be
parm,
good.
parm.
Like, if we do it omelet style, like, I think we were trying to do it egg style, and it wasn't that good.
No, like
Put a
salt
little
and pepper
sriracha
was
on
gross.
it. Yeah, I think it was whatever.
Yeah.
We'll have to retry that. Tofu scramble is so good, though.
Yeah, I prefer that to
It has
like
more calories.
yeah, because the little stupid egg has like 20 calories or something.
I don't know even what the fuck it's made of that it has so few calories.
Yeah, like what's the point? I was saying it might be cool to put that in like a fried rice.
I think that would be good.
I think that's where that egg would shine.
And then we could put tofu, too.
Yeah, fuck you. Tofu, rice.
Well,
egg.
because you know how, like, tofu, like, you know how sometimes in fried rice they have, like, little chicken squares?
Yeah, we can do little tofu squares.
Right.
Yeah,
That'd be good. But
we should do that.
yes, I'm actually going to write that down.
Yeah.
But, so what this whole conversation about being vegan in the hospital was making me think about is freeganism.
Right.
And so I wanted to, like, talk a little bit about that and how you think about it, because people interpret it a little bit differently.
I mean, my introduction to it was this couple that ran a health food store in the town where I grew up. I don't know, they would do like Freegan weeks or something, and they would basically eat whatever the Whole Foods store, it wasn't a Whole Foods, but like, you know, like whatever they were going to throw away or whatever is what they would eat.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right. They just ate, like,
Expired or like, you
the
know,
stuff that the,
store
like,
couldn't
health
sell.
food store was throwing
Yeah.
out.
So sometimes that was meat.
Okay.
And I guess that's cool because no waste, right?
Right, and that seems like to me like the philosophy of freeganism is like no waste.
Right.
Is like you're gonna eat food out of fucking dumpsters because you don't want to waste food, and like to me that sort of resonates because like right now in like this like day and age, the cows are getting slaughtered anyways. And like ideally we create more vegans, and more vegans means less cows are slaughtered.
Right. Demand.
Right, exactly. But as of right now, the cows are still getting slaughtered. So, like, people are throwing away so much fucking food, especially out of restaurants. And restaurants are, like, they have such strict policies. Like, you can't eat out of the dumpster of a restaurant unless you sneak in. But, like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But if you could, like, I would cook up some fucking, like, old beef.
Some Outback steaks that are getting tossed. Like,
yeah, because they have to throw that shit away anyways.
Right. And they have to throw it away, like, pretty early.
Before it's bad.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, Outback specifically. Like, maybe they're really good about it. I don't know. But a lot of food goes to waste. And I guess freeganism is cool because it reduces that.
It's supposed to reduce that.
Right.
And, like, part of it's also survival. If it's free and, like, somebody else isn't going to eat it and you need food, then, like, fine. Like, if we were in a situation such that we had to go to a food pantry and we're not
going to take, like, no, but I'm saying we're not going to, like, discriminate. We're not going to not take some pork and beans or something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we could ask. We could say, like, you know, can we have stuff that doesn't have meat or whatever? Because I know some food pantry situations, they just give you, like, a package of food.
Right.
And it's just, like, they box up the food themselves and distribute it. That way people don't come in and, like, take all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And then some are kind of, like, shopping style. Like, you go up and down the aisles and get things that you need.
Right.
And the person, like, make sure that you don't, like, go wild on whatever it is. Like, there's no special thing that you got too many of or whatever.
Right.
Like, that would be obviously ideal, but then you're not worried about, like, oh, this has honey in it. This has a little bit of whey at the bottom of the ingredients list. For me, it's, like, more about being sick. So I don't really want anything with fucking whole milk or anything like that, because I will get sick.
Yeah.
Like you did.
Right. No, it was really horrible. I got really sick. So I do want to avoid dairy, like, no matter what. Like, even if I were full freegan, I'd probably avoid dairy because I don't want to be sick.
Something that irritates me a little bit about freeganism, though, are, like, I don't want to say fake freegans, but they're fake freegans.
Yeah.
People that, like, at the office party eat cake because they just want to.
Right. And it's free.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, like, don't fucking get me wrong. If you're totally vegan all the time and you have a piece of cake at the office party, do you. Don't stop being vegan just because of that or because, like, I'm an asshole about it.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't think it's really, like, you're not a freegan. Because that cake's going to get eaten at the office party. I know it is. I've seen the cake go. So, like, I don't think it's cool to say, like, oh, well, it's okay because it's freegan. Or, like, saying, like, oh, you know, yeah, I'll eat your cookie because it's freegan. Like, part of veganism to me is, like, I don't know. I think I'm of two minds. And one of them is that, like, any reduction is good reduction.
Yeah.
The other is that you need to kind of be a little bit, like, of a hard ass sometimes because there's some discipline in that. Like, if you're like, oh, well, I'll just have a couple of bites of your chocolate lava cake dessert. Like, what are you doing this for?
Right.
Like, what's this about for you? And, like, part of me wants to tell that part of me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But also I feel like you have to have a little bit of integrity sometimes and say, like, no, I don't want the lava cake.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, I mean, I think for most people being vegan is, like, an ethical choice, right? So if you don't have integrity about your ethics, then, like,
it feels like sloppy ethics.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to steal unless it's chapstick because that's really cheap.
Right.
Like, just don't eat the fucking animal products. And, like, I have accidentally eaten quite a few things.
Oh, yeah.
That were not vegan. But, like, once you buy it and then you look at the ingredients and you're like, fuck, that actually did have gelatin. Or, like, fuck, that has honey at the bottom. Damn it. Like, okay, that sucks. Eat it so it doesn't go to waste.
Yeah.
Because that's worse, is buying it, seeing that it's not vegan, and then wasting it.
Right.
But then, like, eat it. Don't buy it again.
Yeah.
Like, don't keep buying it because you're like, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Unless, and this is, like, my hard unless, it's a vitamin or medicine or something like that.
Right.
Because if there's lactose in your birth control pills, take your fucking birth control pills.
Right.
Because, look, a little bit of lactose so that you can not have a baby if that's important to you, like, that's so little lactose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's shitty. I know I've had, like, medications with egg or something,
Yeah.
and it's, I don't know.
And
There's got to be a line, and I know a lot of vegans, there is no line. Like, if it, you know, everything you're wearing, everything you're eating, everything has to be vegan, and that's cool.
If you can do that,
If
you
you're
can
privileged enough to do that.
Right, if you can sustain that lifestyle, that's great. Like, I was happy to learn that the flu shot that I was getting was the eggless one.
Right.
Like, I
of
had
course,
a choice.
That's nice.
I
Yeah.
could say eggless or not. And I was like, of course, I want the one that doesn't have egg in it. And she was like, great. And this is at CVS. I think they're all at CVS offering them now. So, like, go get your fucking flu shot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When I find out that, like, a medicine that I have has gelatin in it, or even some vitamins, like, if it's a vitamin that's, like, making me feel better, like, making my body feel better if it's got gelatin in it, that's one of the things that I'm like,
Right.
Like, used leather doesn't bother me so much. If there's, like, a tiny bit of leather at the bottom of a shoe, like, I try not to buy it. I try to find alternatives. But I also am trying to make decisions that work for my lifestyle and work for my, like, financial situation.
Yeah. Because, I mean, a lot of vegan food is pretty cheap, right? But a lot of vegan products
Are not.
are not. Like, vegan hiking boots, good fucking luck. You're
Like,
gonna be-
finding a cheap pair.
Yeah, no, there's really not many out there, and the ones that are out there are super expensive. So, yeah.
And part of it is, like, creating demand, right? When you're
Right.
at the hospital eating mac and cheese, you're not creating demand for
Right.
fucking, like, dairy. They're just trying to feed you on a sustainable budget so that y'all get enough calories for as little money as possible.
Yeah.
Because insurance or the state will only pay so much for food
Right.
for inpatient situations. And I feel the same way about, like, you know, like, what do you call it? Like, thrift store leather.
Yeah.
Like, fucking buy it. It's not going to create more demand for the leather because
Right.
at that point it's already been bought. So, like, that's just another way to create less waste. And that's, I think, part of your situation too, is you don't want to throw away big plates of food while you're in there.
Yeah.
Because, like, who's that fucking helping?
Exactly.
Like, the cow's already button milk. Like, there's nothing you can do to, like, go back and stop the situation that already
It's not like
happened.
my dollars were speaking for me or anything. I
No.
wasn't buying the, Pop-Tarts.
Right.
And I don't know. I'm sure some people would have problems with that because fucking vegans, right? But,
Right, vegans can be embarrassing sometimes.
yeah.
Like, just, look, you gotta fucking look out for you. If you die because you're, like, starving yourself, or you, like, injure yourself or hurt yourself by starving yourself in the fucking hospital, then that's one less person that can advocate on behalf of, like, reasonable veganism.
Yeah.
And, like, and now you fucking know. You had the cheese. You know it's not all that good. You don't want to fucking go back. And that's part of what, like, we want to create fewer ex-vegans.
Yeah. How shitty is it to be vegan for like 12 years and then be like, I'm out of that now. I'm free. Like, I fucking did it. I went to the hospital. I ate some cheese. It sucked. I'm good.
Right.
You know? Like, I don't want to go back.
And it's hospital food. It's not that good. But
I mean, it was pretty good. It
Really?
wasn't bad. It really wasn't.
it wasn't fucking, you know, some cafe in Italy giving you fucking something with cheese on it, because that's probably
Right.
dope.
Yeah.
But, like, you had the cheese itself. And it's not that good. It's not worth it.
No.
Especially when we have access to the alternatives that we have access to. Like, that shit's good. The follow your heart cheese is fucking good. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
It's absolutely the best. Dea is not terrible. I'm not mad at Dea.
No.
It's,
I mean, it's all
it used
better
to
than
be
cheese.
bad. Really? Like, tastes better, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, if you're thinking about where it came from, yeah. You know what I mean?
Rank it just taste-wise. How did the cheese stack up?
Taste-wise?
Yeah.
I can't even do that because taste is so, like, mental.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Like, you're tasting it gagging because you're like, damn it.
Yeah, I'm tasting it like, the pus. Like, so that degrades the taste.
Right, because you're thinking about it.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's a bummer.
Yeah.
So you know now, though, if you have to go back to the hospital, like, you're going to get care sooner because you know what the food situation is like. And you also know you can be a squeaky wheel a little faster than you were while you were in there.
Right. I mean, you can at least be vegetarian in a hospital. It's not that hard.
And if you probably ask your doctor nicely, like, is there any way to accommodate this? Like, even just, I don't want cheese or milk or meat. Like, is there any way to accommodate that? Like, if they give you fucking mashed potatoes that have a little milk in them,
right?
Whatever.
I mean, just say it's like a religious thing or something.
I'm sure that would fly. Yeah, I mean, I don't ever suggest lying because that's like one of those things that I'm like really bad at and I don't like. But you could say like, hey, it's really important to me and it's important to my mental health to not eat cheese or milk or meat. And maybe they'll fucking work with you. I don't know. I
don't know. They made that chickpea soup happen and they gave me a salad once. So I think they were really putting in the effort.
They were giving a little bit of effort. They were trying.
Yeah.
And like you said, the chickpea soup was really good.
Yeah, it was fucking delicious.
So it's not like if you go in, they're going to come in and shove a block of cheese down your throat or make you eat those nasty turkey sandwiches the whole time. Like,
no.
You're going to be okay. It's fine.
And obviously you're in a weird social setting. People are going to be a little goofy because, like, and we'll do podcasts about being vegan in social settings, but
yeah.
Like, obviously it's weird in the hospital like that. But, I don't know. I had one kid say, oh, you're vegetarian. And I was like, yeah, sure, vegetarian. He's like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. And then he's like, well, I don't know if it's cool in here. And he, like, looked at all the bacon and shit. And I'm like, yeah, it's not super cool.
Aw. So he got it.
Yeah, he got it. So, I mean, it's not all, people are people, whether they're crazy or not.
Well, I'm sure some people were, like, cool and nice about it, and some people were weird, right?
I mean, no one was, like, really weird to me. But also, I'm, like, big and quiet, and I give people mean stares when I'm anxious, so
they're like, let's not fuck with him. We don't know why he's
here. No one
here.
really fucked with me. So, it was a good time. Would recommend. 10 out of 10.
Would recommend. Go be Baker acted. But for real, though, like, if you need care, don't put it off because you're worried the food is going to be bad.
Yeah. That's so just misguided.
Right. And, like, the food was not the worst part of your trip there.
No.
The food was not that big of a deal. It's interesting to talk about, and it made good podcast fodder. But, like, you were able to have your medication adjusted, and you were able to, like...
Right. The food was not my focus. It's not like I was there for the food.
It's not an eating tourism thing.
Yeah. I mean, my medication got adjusted. I got, like, watched so that I wouldn't hurt myself. And it worked. So...
He's here.
I'd recommend it. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd rather you eat cheese than die. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking look out for number one sometimes, and, like, that's not okay. If you're saying, okay, well, now I'm back from the hospital, so let's eat fucking Alfredo sauce every day, that's, like, a little weird.
Right. And like, if I want to go to the hospital so I can get bacon or something.
Ew.
Yeah.
Or say, like, well, I already had bacon in the hospital, so fuck it, who cares? Like, you can't have that mentality either.
Right.
Of, like,
no, it's not like I got out of the hospital and immediately was like, all right, fuck it.
No, and that was another thing I wanted to talk about is, like, while you were in the hospital, I was, like, getting all of your favorite vegan snacks.
Oh, yeah.
How are the snacks? Can you talk about, like, the transition from, like, hospital food to, like, eating snack food here that was vegan? And we went to Chipotle the night that you got back.
Right. I don't know. It was not difficult or anything. It was not weird or anything. Like, I think people put way too much emphasis on this sometimes. Like, the food, But, like, food's super important, but it's not so different. Like, vegan food isn't weird.
No.
And, like, non-vegan food isn't that weird. So, like, it's all good.
Yeah.
You just got to make a choice. Like, for me, obviously, I want to eat the vegan food. I don't want to eat non-vegan, but, like, it's not that big of a deal.
And that's really what it is, too. Somebody asked me recently, like, oh, can you eat these? And I'm like, yeah,
It's a fucking choice.
I can eat whatever the
Yeah.
fuck I want, but I choose not to eat them. And she was like, you're strong. And I was like, I just don't. Like,
I'm weak for animals.
I look at the cookies, I look at cheese, I see, and you know, like, there's so many commercials and stuff, like, on TV, like, you see all the just, like, cheesy shit and, like, the sizzling grilled chicken, whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, that used to be fine. It's, like, nothing about it is sexy to me now, though.
Right.
Like I said, eggs, I'm happy that we're going to get lab-grown eggs
Yeah, you want
at
some
some
lab
point.
shit. And
I
feel
miss
you on
eggs.
that.
And I would even eat the lab-grown meat, like
Yeah.
the other meat, because I liked meat, but not enough to, like, be eating something that had to die for me to enjoy my meal.
Right.
Like, that's not worth it to me. I would much rather eat the fucking Beyond Chicken that's not quite as good as chicken, but is fine.
Well, then, see, the mental thing comes in, and I think the
Mm-hmm.
Beyond Chicken is way better than chicken because I'm not feeling gross while I'm eating it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It's
Like,
it doesn't have the same texture that chicken has.
yeah.
And you can't, like, marinate it the way that you can marinate, like, real chicken.
Right.
But it's good. So,
It's
like,
great.
I mean, who gives a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather just eat the vegan food. And at this point, it truly is a choice. I feel like the first couple months, the first week, I remember we were sitting in bed and it was like afternoon time and we were talking about dinner. And I really, really wanted Best New York pizza.
Oh, right.
And you
yeah.
did too. And we were talking about it, like, fuck, we could just go get it and it wouldn't be a big deal. This could be like a cheat meal. Like, we're still transitioning. It's no big deal. It was the first week.
Yeah.
We went to Loving Hut instead,
Yeah.
which, like, it's a cult. But
It's a vegan cult, at least.
the food was fine. And, like,
Yeah.
we managed to never ever go get pizza or anything like that was
No.
not vegan. And I think at that point it felt like an obligation, like, oh, we can't eat pizza.
Right.
And now it's like, I don't fucking want to eat pizza with the big, like, lumps of, like, mozzarella on it.
Yeah. I mean, at the beginning, you kind of have to make it like it's an obligation so that you do it. But then after a while, it becomes a choice, I think, like you're saying.
Right, when there's so many vegan options to eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, etc., it becomes not a big deal anymore.
Yeah.
And, like, that's why for you, it was like, okay, fine, I'll fucking eat this. Because you knew as soon as you got out, you're going to come back and eat, like, vegan food.
Right. And I'm not vegan for the street cred, so it wasn't like I didn't feel like, oh, I'm not vegan now and I lose my vegan card because
Some
I'm in
people
here
feel
eating
that
Rice
way.
Krispie treats. Yeah, fuck that. You're an
You have
idiot.
to fucking survive.
Yeah.
And, like, if it's fucking life or death, which it was, eat the fucking cheese. Eat the Rice Krispie treats. I don't even care if you ate bacon. You could have ate eggs and bacon. I was, like, thinking about it while you were in there. I was like, well, this is his opportunity to fucking just go wild
Oh, God.
and eat whatever the
No.
hell he wants. And it wasn't like you're, like, jonesing for bacon the last 2 years
No.
and you just wanted to eat it so bad. Like, you didn't even ask for it when you had breakfast.
No, I never ate. I didn't eat any meat.
Except
Except
for
for that ER, I ate like a little cube of chicken accidentally on the rice. It tasted weird. But
You,
like,
like,
fuck
knew
it. It was
this is
it's just not a
chicken.
big deal.
Right.
Like, it was not the reason I was in the hospital. It didn't need to become the reason I was in the hospital. Like,
Right.
They didn't need to keep me there on some weird hunger strike in G2. Fucking, no.
That sounds way shittier than just eating the fucking Alfredo sauce.
Yeah.
I would eat Alfredo with chicken before they put a fucking tube up my nose.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe that's just my priorities. Maybe I'm a shitty vegan for that, but I want to live.
Right.
And, like, it's important to me that I stay alive and not, like, having such low blood sugar that I pass out in the fucking hospital.
Yeah, that should be a goal. Anyway.
All right. So, we fucking talked about it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Go to the goddamn hospital next time.
Yep.
Just go.
Get your Rice Krispie treat. They do not suck.
Really?
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.